What is happening to MOG coin? We've covered the token several times on this channel. Why is it currently rising? Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Let's have a look at the on-chain metrics most people aren't considering. So here we are. The current price is point and then 5039. We are up 24% today, 54% this week, and more than 10,000% this year. How much more upside potential is there? Does it make sense to take advantage of this momentum, or is this a pump and dump? Is this all just FOMO and we're just exit liquidity buying now? Now I want to share my YouTube statistics on MOG coin. So as said, I've published several videos on the token before. Here's one that's 276 days old, and that video outperformed the average video after a somewhat slow start. So this is the performance here as the blue line, and the gray area is a typical video. Another video followed, that one performed according to average, and another one an outperformer. And have a look at this. As the price went up, the attention also went up. Now that's a problem in general with YouTube, right? When a token is still relatively small, there aren't too many investors, then the video tends to underperform. Once the price rallies and more people jump on the token, then of course there's also an audience. That's then when YouTube also sends this to more people. But of course this is a problem, right? Because crypto is all about buying early when the price is not yet inflated. So here is when that first video was published. Since then the price is up by more than 4x or 317%. And so feel free to subscribe over here, right? I publish videos on various meme coins regularly. Feel free to potentially even set the notifications, because again, the YouTube algorithm is not necessarily in our favor. Now MOG coin does not just get traded on chain. There's quite a lot of ownership by the market makers, by the centralized exchanges as well. Most trading volume in the last 24 hours happened on Gate.io, Coinbase, Maxi, Bybit, BitGet, and XT.com. Now XT.com is simply a white labeled Binance. So really price discovery is not necessarily driven by the on-chain transactions anymore. On top of that, we've also got the perpetual futures market. So those are levered price bets. We saw more than 500 million worth of trading volume on Binance alone in the last 24 hours. And even though we do see a lot of trading off-chain in those black boxes, in those centralized exchanges, we also see quite a bit of liquidity on-chain. So there are two chains where MOG is traded. It's Ethereum and it's the base chain. So have a look at this. This is the trending tokens on Ethereum in the last 24 hours. And MOG coin is the third largest in terms of liquidity. There are 32 million worth of liquidity on Ethereum. Now MOG is also a trending token on Base, but here the liquidity is much smaller, 2.6 million. And so let's dive deeper into the holding dynamics for both tokens. So we've got 45,000 holders on Ethereum and 134,000 holders on Base. Now this would indicate that there's more capital on Base for MOG than there is on the Ethereum chain, but that's actually not true. Even though there are less holders on Ethereum, the average amount that each holder holds is much larger on ETH. Now I always like to look at who's currently driving the price action. Is this small retail or is this the big whales? In order to figure out how many retail investors versus whale investors are there, I like to use minimum holding thresholds. So we are not counting every single wallet. We are only counting the wallets that have at least, for the left chart, 250 million MOG coins. So at the current price, that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. For the chart in the middle, we go a 10x in minimum holding. So that's now 2.5 billion tokens or $10,000 worth of the token. And on the right, another 10x, so $100,000 worth of the token. What can we see? We see continued accumulation by small retail. Small retail on average doesn't tend to sell often. They mainly just buy and hope for the best. For the whales, that's not necessarily true. They can also sell sometimes, and that's normally what causes price depressions. Now recently, interestingly enough, even though the MOG price went up, the number of whales went down. But that's on the Ethereum chain. I believe this is partially driven by some whales moving their tokens over to Base, because here are the same kinds of charts for Base. This recently went up by roughly 25 whales. This drop here is a bit larger than 25 whales. It's roughly 75, but still it's partially compensated probably by bridging. But yeah, why did I say that Ethereum matters more than the Base chain? It's again because most capital is on Ethereum. Just look at the number of whales. And again, the whales tend to move the prices. On Base, we've only got 57 whales, so wallets with more than $100,000 worth of the token. And on Ethereum, that's more than 22 times that amount. And so let's focus on the numbers on Ethereum going forward. What we've got over here is the number of buyers and sellers over time. On the left, simply just absolute numbers. On the right, normalized to 100% per day. And we can nicely see how attention is driven in waves, right? Sometimes there's a lot of attention, sometimes not so much. Currently, we are rather high in attention, which means that the price is high, right? There's correlation between attention and price. We do not necessarily see a trend in the number of buyers and sellers, relatively speaking. This tends to hover at around 50%. Maybe now we have a bit of an overhang of buyers recently. Now here's a very interesting recent development. You very likely do not have access to this kind of chart. This here shows how much advertisers on my YouTube channel pay for 1,000 views of their ads. And it suddenly, out of nothing, spiked to roughly double of what it used to be. In other words, crypto projects, centralized exchanges, etc., they are now competing for advertising space in the crypto scene. And it's not just money that's flowing into advertising for crypto. There's also simply fiat money that's flowing into the space as a whole. The stablecoin market cap tends to rise, and it's recently even accelerating. So since October of last year, we see money flowing into crypto again. That, of course, causes a lot of crypto asset prices to go up. And especially in the recent days, since beginning of the month, we also see the altcoins going up in aggregate. So what we have over here is the others dominance. This is how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that's not in the top 10. That went up by roughly 20% in the last month. And so pretty much everything is now going up. The art in crypto trading, though, is to buy early, right? It's to buy when the prices are still low. So for example, over here, the Chill Guy token, it's now at 50 cents. But I made a video on Chill Guy when it was still at 20 cents. And I hope a lot of you made money with that video because it was a quite popular one. And so this is the real art, right? We have to get into tokens when momentum is bullish and when there's still enough upside potential. And so this is what this channel is all about, right? It's about discussing tokens that a lot of people don't yet have on their radar. So feel free to subscribe. Now, how can I find tokens like Chill Guy early? Or how can I find things like the GOAT token or the ACT token early? Those are one of the largest pump.fun ecosystem tokens. This is a wallet tracking alert. How Kyle Chessy bought the GOAT token for 14 cents. That was over here. Since then, the price went up by more than 500%. Temporarily, it was up by more than 800%. Who's Kyle Chessy? It's this influencer over here. He's got 137,000 subscribers and he tends to be relatively early on trending tokens. And so here is how that works. We use on-chain analytics again to figure out who is owning what wallet. It's not a very easy task, but we've got an entire community that just focuses on that single task. Find wallets that are very useful of insiders, of top traders, of influencers. Let's find those wallets and then track them. So over here, we've got the wallets that we track by Kyle Chessy. We've got 12 in total. Well, let's talk about the ACT token. Here's our signal for ACT. CryptoBanter bought the ACT token at 3.7 cents. Now it's at 58 cents. So an increase of 1,500% since that signal. And of course, temporarily, the gain was even higher, more than 2,000%. Now, where do crazy gains like this come from? They come from attention. They come from a lot of eyeballs getting into one single token. And so here are those eyeballs. This is the CryptoBanter channel. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about the token, of course the token has to go up. And so we've got 33 of CryptoBanter's wallets. And so really, I think this is the better approach compared to just drawing random lines on price charts. I think it's better to follow the smart money. It's better to follow the insiders. It's better to simply copy trade the people that tend to make money in crypto. And I like this approach that much that I made a dedicated tutorial course just on this. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we track those wallets? And how can we subsequently also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's 8 videos in total. It's all part of Premium. So that's down below, thebitcoinstray.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today in this video. It's also about portfolio diversification, risk management, indicator backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we get our wallet signals, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare the on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently 100% $165 US per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't learn anything, simply just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. And so, does it still make sense to buy MOG coin? I believe there is some upside potential because we've both trading on-chain, we've also got trading off-chain, especially for the meme coins that are heavily owned by the centralized exchanges. We tend to see a lot of volatility because of all of that leverage, but we also tend to see on average higher market caps. Have a look at the largest meme coins in general across all chains. All of them have a lot of ownership by the centralized exchanges and by the market makers. Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Pepe, Dog with Fed. Dog with Fed is pretty much not traded whatsoever on the Solana chain anymore. And so MOG coin is simply in a similar realm. It's got now a market cap of 1.5 billion and it could easily double from here, maybe even triple. If it was to triple, it would be at 4.5 billion. It would beat Dog with Fed. Everything above that is of course quite uncertain. It's not that clear whether or not MOG coin can beat Pepe or even Shiba Inu. This is the market where altcoins tend to win, especially meme coins are doing pretty well, and especially the tokens that are owned by the market makers, they now get a lot of attention as well. Short term, of course, there is a bit more risk because now the trading volume is relatively high. So if the attention moves to another token temporarily, then MOG can depress as well. So one potential way to protect against this is a trailing stop loss, right? So as the price goes up, you can adjust the stop loss, and then once the price turns around, you exit very, very quickly. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.